Guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 to 48 hours. A lot of news to discuss. First, at the club right now, want to reinforce both full-back positions. First, on the right-hand side, the priority is Juan Foyth, but again, reaching agreement with Villarreal right now is looking to be a bit too difficult, so the club do have two backup options in Thomas Meunier and with Hector Bellerin. On the left-hand side, the priority, of course, is Marcos Alonso, but by the looks of things at the moment, Barcelona's interest in Alonso has cooled down quite a bit. The transfer is not collapsed yet, still full agreement with Chelsea and Barcelona on a transfer fee, and Barcelona and Alonso on personal terms, but the club at the moment have not pushed the green light on the transfer quite yet, and now all of a sudden the option of Javi Galan is re-emerging for Barcelona. Now, of course, alongside the fullbacks, the club will also sign Bernardo Silva this summer as, icing on the cake for the window. And Bernardo Silva, the club can afford his transfer fee, but at the moment, of course, zero chance in registering him in La Liga. But Frenkie de Jong could be the saving grace. If he leaves or reduces his salary, Bernardo Silva can be signed and registered. Of course, Barcelona will meet with Frenkie de Jong's agent this week to get a definitive answer on his future this week. Leave or reduce your salary. Now, of course, with players coming in, players have to leave the club this summer. We have an update on Dest, Braithwaite, interest for Miralem Pjanic, possibly a Pablo Torre loan move, but the two big exits are around Memphis Depay and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, with both deals at the moment being stalled. On Memphis, he asked for more money from Juventus, and now the negotiations for that move have collapsed. They have to restart. And for Aubameyang, the club have received two bids from Chelsea, but have rejected both bids. And finally, we do have a big update on the salary reduction of Sergio Busquets and how Laporta is very, very mad, and his relationship right now is on the floor with Javier Tebas. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 300 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 24 to 48 hours. The first player that we have been linked with is, of course, you could probably say the #1 target and priority signing for Barcelona currently in the summer transfer window, Juan Foyth. More specifically, Barcelona looking for a new right back. Now, there are reports coming in from Sport coming out saying that Foyth will be Barcelona's new right back. Villarreal have already given the okay, if the price is right, for his departure and are now looking for a replacement. So Villarreal saying, look, if Barcelona give us the price we want, his release clause maybe even a bit lower, we're going to accept it and Foyth will leave. So let's now start looking at a possible right back replacement. So that's, of course, in the positive sign of Barcelona, but then again, it's still not fully confirmed, fully going to happen quite yet. Now, Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Ramon Planes valued the signing of Juan Foyth twice, in 2020 and then in 2021. At that time, he was a center back. Now he's a right back, and again, Barcelona want him, but not for 42 million euros. Xavi believes that the Argentine can offer what he demands in that right back position. I mean, Ramon Planes, bloody hell, he had Araujo, Pedri, some other players we didn't get, and now you can add Juan Foyth to that list. That's absolutely ridiculous. That man did a fantastic job at Barcelona, even under Bartomeu and then under Juan Laporta as well. Keep in mind, he walked out, Laporta wanted to keep him. So, on Foyth, I think in the end, it comes down to Villarreal. Will they accept our bid of 30 million euros, which of course is around about, I think, 10 million euros under his release clause of 42. I think Barcelona will submit this one bid. If it gets rejected, they will walk away. I cannot see Barcelona increasing their offer. That's basically just his release clause eventually. So we'll wait and see on that. I think it won't be as easy as people think. But again, no doubt Barcelona are pursuing him, and they're going to be trying their best to sign him as well. Personal terms, I also almost agree with Foyth as well. So he wants to move as well, but he won't force it, as we all know. So we'll wait and see. But of course, with Barcelona, there are backups to the backups to the backups, and there are some backup options to Juan Foyth if we don't end up signing him. I think the main one at the moment right now is Thomas Meunier. Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that according to Thomas Meunier's entourage, the player dreams of playing for Barcelona, and Barcelona have him as an alternative to Juan Foyth, but Borussia Dortmund are hesitant to let him leave. So again, the manager of Dortmund came out in the press saying that, oh, great player, we're not going to sell him, it's too late now, it's going to take us a while to look for a replacement, all that sort of stuff. So I think with Meunier, it's not as clear, but I think he's definitely next in line to Juan Foyth if we don't get him. I think Barcelona see him as that, official backup. But I think Dortmund will cause difficulties. Of course, he'll be way cheaper than Foyth as well. He's way older, of course. That's also a factor to take in. He can't really play as center back either. So he's not that versatile. So after Juan Foyth, the downgrade is pretty clear. So We'll wait and see on that, but there is a backup to Thomas Meunier as well, and that is Hector Bellerin. Now, Luis Rojo from Marcos came out saying that Hector Bellerin is willing to take a pay cut to join Barcelona this summer. Of course, right now Bellerin is in negotiation with Arsenal to terminate his contract, and he will arrive to Barcelona on a free transfer. His current salary at Arsenal is 4 million euros net per season. He's willing to take that pay cut to come to Barcelona. So I'd say keep your eyes on him. Spanish from La Masia as well. I wouldn't mind bringing Foyth and Bellerin in, or Thomas Meunier and Bellerin in. I think Bellerin could be that good second option to come compete in that right back position. I think that'll only happen though if we sell Dest. I think we sell Dest, bring in Foyth and Bellerin. I wouldn't consider that a downgrade. You could even may consider it an upgrade, but I think we bring in Foyth and then have Dest. If Dest doesn't leave, of course, it will cause some complications because, of course, we do want to rely on the money that we sell from Dest to use on Juan Foyth. So we'll wait and see on that right back position, but again, no doubt the club's priority is Juan Foyth, but they do have Meunier and Bellerin as possible backup options. Now, along with a right back, the club are also looking to sign a new left back this summer to provide cover for Jordi Alba and hopefully as well compete with him. And the main target for months and months and months now has been Marcos Alonso. Keep in mind, personal terms with the player is fully agreed, and also a fee with Chelsea is fully agreed. All Barcelona have to do right now, press the green light, and he's coming to Barcelona. Again, over the weekend when Chelsea faced Leeds, he was not on the bench, not in the squad whatsoever. He is pending his move to Barcelona. But David Ornstein from The Athletic, #1 source in the world at the moment, has come out saying that Barcelona's interest in Marcos Alonso seems to have cooled down recently. So the club still, in the race for him, still have that agreement, but not really, pushing for it right now. They have, I think, right now, in my opinion, other priorities. Now, Gerardo Romero saw this, of course, everyone switched around Barcelona, and he's come out saying that the Marcos Alonso option has not cooled down, but Javi Galan as an option could return just in case. So here's what I'm feeling right now. I think the club are thinking, you know what, Marcos Alonso ain't really going to compete with Jordi Alba. I think Alejandro Balde has a much better chance. What do? Do we go and spend 8 million euros on him as a package on a cheap, just bring him in and, just bet on the fact that he will do well, or invest some more money in Javi Galan? I think in the end, the club will sign Alonso. Of course, it all comes about when Alonso was offered in the Aubameyang deal, which we'll talk about later on in the video. But I think with Alonso, Xavi still wants him, so I think this deal will happen in the end. I think the interest has cooled down because the club right now have other priorities. Again, we reached an agreement with Marcos Alonso and Chelsea weeks ago. I'm thinking I think it was probably 10 days ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks when you have a full agreement, there's still no green light yet. You're probably thinking, what the hell is going on? I think the club right now, though, have other priorities. Registration goal Jules Koundé, selling Memphis, selling Umtiti, all that sort of stuff. So we'll wait and see on Marcos Alonso. Again, I think in the end, he will sign for Barcelona probably this week at some point. But the Javi Galan option is there just in case that deal falls through. Now, alongside Marcos Alonso, another player who has been linked with Barcelona for months and months now is Bernardo Silva. And of course, the club do see him as the icing on the cake for this transfer window, but Joan Laporta and Xavi are desperate to sign him. Javi Miguel from AS has come out saying that Xavi keeps asking the club to sign Bernardo Silva. He wants him to be the leader of his project in the midfield. Right now, the three leaders are one per line. In defense, it'll be Jules Koundé. In midfield, it'll be Bernardo Silva. And in the attack, it will be Robert Lewandowski. So again, Xavi is still requesting for the signing of Bernardo Silva, whether or not Frenkie de Jong stays at the club. And then Jordan Romero dropped the big bombshell. He came out saying that if Frenkie de Jong reduces his salary or leaves the club, Barcelona will be able to sign and register Bernardo Silva. I mean, madre freaking mia, Frenkie, man. Do us a favor. We'll talk about Frenkie's salary reduction in his departure section in the middle of the video. But let's just say his reduction is not that much. Again, right now, Frenkie de Jong currently earns 400,000 euros per week. Split that in half, give half to Bernardo Silva. You can have both players in the squad. Again, the deal is still possible, but by every single passing day in the transfer window, it does become more difficult. But we got some big indications from Pep Guardiola. He was doing an interview with Football Daily. He was asked about Bernardo Silva. He came out saying, if you force someone to stay when he does not want to stay, how can you get the best out of him? It's impossible. There are 10 to 15 days left in the window and anything can happen. A good offer, the player wants to leave, a solution will be found. So once Barcelona, or if Barcelona, put in a decent bid for Bernardo and Bernardo goes to Pep and TK and says, I want to leave, Pep will say, TK, let him go. And when Pep speaks, the entire City board listen to him. So again, it's in our favor. We just put the bid in, tell Bernardo that you want to go to Barcelona, and they will let him leave. It is clear as day. He hasn't even been starting for Man City recently. He did start on the weekend though against I think it was Newcastle. So it's clear. Submit the bid. The player will not force to move, but ask to leave, and then he'll leave. And now we know that we don't need a billion sales. All we need now is Frenkie to either leave or reduce his salary for Bernardo Silva to be signed. So we'll wait and see. But again, this week will be the week for Bernardo. Of course, on Wednesday, or is it Thursday? I think it's Wednesday, Man City versus Barcelona at the Spotify Camp Nou for the ALS charity match for Juan Foyth. That's going to be the time where Barcelona is going to be speaking with Man City and the board. Apparently, Bernardo Silva's whole family, his agent are going to be coming to the game. The whole entire Man City board, the owner is going to be there as well. So that's Joan Laporta's time to strike. So we'll wait and see on Bernardo. Again, his signing is definitely still possible, but by every single passing day in the window, it does become more difficult. Now, position for Barcelona this summer that isn't the priority currently, but it could be very much a priority in the last few days of the window is, of course, the striker position with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Memphis Depay's futures very much unclear. Now, Gerardo has come out saying that if Barcelona succeed in all their exit operations that they plan, Braithwaite, Umtiti, Memphis, maybe Aubameyang if a good offer comes in, they told me not to rule anything out in the last minute of the Mercado. There is a list of free forwards in case they would be interested, like Andrea Belotti and Edison Cavani, and they're very remote options, and I'm very less optimistic about it. So Gerardo is saying, look, if everything goes as planned for Barcelona, you have some, few hours left of the window, maybe last day or two, the club may go for a striker, and they are looking at the free agent list. The top two on that list right now is Belotti, who wants to go to Roma, and Cavani, who wants to go to Villarreal, but both their deals are not done yet. There are other strikers on that list. I think there's like Fernando Llorente, Soldado, other like dog crap strikers. The only striker on that free agent list that I would take is Belotti, 28 years old. Still, he's playing, week in, week out for Torino in Serie A. Still a decent striker. Will provide good cover, I think, for Lewandowski. Cavani, I would stay clear. He's going to ask for a buckload of money, and he's injured every other day. Wants to go back to Uruguay for like a month. We saw him at United. I would stay clear of that, in my opinion. So keep your eyes on the striker position. Of course, it will only sign a striker if both Memphis and Auba leave. But if Auba stays or Memphis stays, this will not happen. But the club are keeping a look on the free agent striker market, or just the striker market in general, just in case in the last few days in the transfer window, they have to go out and sign one. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 24 hours. Of course, on the topic of the striker position, let's discuss these three strikers who could leave Barcelona this summer: Aubameyang, Braithwaite, and Memphis. At least, I would say, two will be leaving. Let's discuss them. Firstly, of course, the one that most likely will leave is Memphis Depay. Over the past weekend, his move to Juventus was on the verge of completion, but then it collapsed. Let's discuss it. Firstly, DiMarzio came out saying that Memphis Depay's lawyers were in Italy on Saturday, and the agreement to terminate his contract with Barcelona is fully agreed. Only the final approval from Juventus is needed to seal the deal. And this now has been confirmed by everyone. Fabrizio Romano, Gerardo Romero, Barcelona, and Memphis Depay have reached a full agreement on the termination of his contract. All Memphis has to do now is reach an agreement with any other club he wants to join, and then his contract with Barcelona will be terminated. We all thought it was going to be with Juventus, but now the deal for Juventus is not, completely dead, but it has stalled because Depay asked for more money. Gerardo Romero came out saying the agreement between Memphis Depay and Juventus has been broken as Depay asked for more money at the last second. The agreement now needs to be renegotiated. Marcel also came out afterwards confirming this, saying that after Depay's economic demands, careful evaluation are underway at Juventus with other options being studied. Juventus now have 2 options on the table. One, Memphis Depay, and also Milik. The decision will be made by Juventus' leader very, very soon. So the club was about to terminate Depay's contract and he was about to sign for Juventus, but at the last second Depay asked for more money from Juventus and the deal collapsed, so that they have to restart negotiation from scratch. Bloody hell, Memphis. Look, he's gonna leave. He'll probably renegotiate and go to Juventus. If not, he'll go somewhere else. The most important thing to know about Memphis over the past 24 hours is that Barcelona and Memphis have reached a full agreement on the termination of his contract. So once he agrees personal terms with another club, he's gone. He will be leaving the club. It is very, very likely. So we'll see what happens with Memphis over the next, few days. But I think 100% he will leave the club in the next week. Now, the striker who Barcelona are desperate, and I mean desperate, to get rid of in any way, shape, or form this summer is Martin Braithwaite. And over the past 24 hours, we did get some positive news about his exit coming in from Real Mallorca. So, of course, one of the outlets near Real Mallorca, the club, they came out saying that we can confirm that Real Mallorca's club is in negotiation with Mateo Alemán regarding Braithwaite, but the player's salary is more than 4 million euros and it is an obstacle, and the player is reluctant to leave, but Mallorca cannot afford his salary in full and is looking with Barcelona for a joint solution, and Alemán's side will try to persuade him to leave the club. So apparently Real Mallorca's manager really wants Martin Braithwaite. Braithwaite kind of on the fence, does not want to move, and of course his salary will be a big problem. So because Umtiti here 2.0, we pay Braithwaite half his salary to go there or terminate his contract, whatever it may be. But Joan Miro came out saying that at the moment inside the club, there's nothing going on between Mallorca and Martin Braithwaite as of now. So club not really looking into it too much. Probably Mateo Alemán doing something on the side right now because Mallorca had to show really strong interest for him to take it to the club's leaders and all that sort of stuff. So I think there is some interest there, but it has to materialize hopefully in the next few days. Can this happen? Yes, you could say maybe Barcelona can reach an agreement to terminate his contract with we pay him 50%, then the other 50%, the 2 million, Mallorca can pay him as that net salary. So we'll wait and see. There are options, but at least there's a team that's actually interested in trying to pursue Braithwaite. But again, Braithwaite himself still does not want to leave the club. There also were reports coming out saying that Braithwaite told Barcelona, "Oh, if you sell Memphis and Aubameyang, let me stay and I can prove you guys wrong and let me be the backup for Lewandowski." And the club said to him, hell no. So wait and see on Braithwaite, but again, his future at the moment is still unclear. And the final striker who could potentially leave Barcelona this summer is of course Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but also like with Memphis Depay and Martin Braithwaite, his exit at the moment is very, very unclear. Let's discuss it. Now, firstly, over the past, I would say, weekend, Chelsea submitted 2 bids for Aubameyang. The first one was, I believe, 19 million euros plus 5 million euros in variables that Relevo leaked from Alberto Rojo and Martin Mateo Morito. Barcelona did not respond to that offer as of right now. And then we got the other offer, the second offer that came in from David Ornstein from The Athletic, of course, #1 source right now in the world. He came out saying that Chelsea have submitted an official bid of £15 million or 17.7 million euros for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang plus Marcos Alonso to Barcelona, and Barcelona have not yet responded to this offer as of right now. When I first saw this, I'm like, that's a decent offer. But then when you think about it, 17 million, we already agreed a full package for Alonso with Chelsea for 8 million, 17 plus 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, only 25 million euros, and the club won 30 for Aubameyang. So it's still off the valuation quite a bit, but them adding Alonso, I think maybe Barcelona saw that and but still the club were not too keen on that offer. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Barcelona only want cash from Chelsea in the Aubameyang deal and they don't want Marcos Alonso included. They want to do Alonso's deal separately and Aubameyang's deal separately as well. But also on Aubameyang, Romano came out saying that Chelsea have almost agreed personal terms with Aubameyang, but they have currently no intention of paying the 30 million euros that Barcelona want, but Chelsea want to invest around 15 million pounds, 17.7 million euros. So again, they did invest that, and the club as of right now, not too keen on that offer. So you're probably thinking, what's going to happen now? Of course, Chelsea lost on the weekend against Leeds. They're desperate for a striker. Will they come back in and make one big money offer for Aubameyang? It's quite unclear, but then João Miro came out with a big update. He came out saying that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang may not leave now, and the operation to Chelsea is not so clear as it was during the weekend. Even so, that does not mean the action will not happen. So João Miro saying, look, over the past 24 hours, the interest has cooled down. Aubameyang's departure is not so clear, but does not mean that Chelsea can reactivate it right now. They could come back in, bid, and he'll leave. But at the current moment, it's gone cold. So I would love to keep Aubameyang. I think, just think about it. We sell Aubameyang, Belotti, and Cavani are our best case scenarios as a replacement. The downgrade is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, and I'll say it again. After the World Cup, Aubameyang will be so useful for Barcelona. Everyone will be tired. Lewandowski would have gone to the World Cup. You know, all the other forwards. Aubameyang is not going to World Cup. He'll be fresh, fit, ready to go. I think in that December, February period, Aubameyang will be so key for Barcelona, and also during the season as well, coming off the bench, giving Lewandowski some rest as well. He's going to be so important. Now, there are reports come out saying that Barcelona could offer Aubameyang a new contract with a salary reduction in order to keep him. So let's say this season he earns 200,000 euros per week. Next season as well, he has the option to extend his contract with Barcelona, but him and Barcelona have to agree to it. And also then he'll earn 200,000 euros per week as well. So the club could give him a 2-year renewal, bring that down to 100,000 euros per week, spread it out like we did with Umtiti back in January. So we'll wait and see with the Auba. I think if Chelsea make the bid, he will go. I think Chelsea could make the bid, but they only want to spend, like Romano said, 17 million euros, and they already spent that on the Marcos Alonso bid, and they also included Marcos Alonso in that, and Barcelona still said, we don't want that, we're rejecting it, we don't want Marcos Alonso, we only want straight cash, and 17 million euros for Aubameyang is not good enough. So we'll wait and see, but again, Aubameyang's future right now is still very much in doubt, but again, Chelsea could submit a bid at any given moment and he could leave. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Aubameyang's future in the last, 10 days or so in the transfer window. Now, a player who has been rumored to leave Barcelona since May the 15th and has still not left the club quite yet is, of course, Frenkie de Jong. As we all know, at some point this week, the club will force him to make a decision. Either leave the club this summer or reduce your salary to our needs. Now, over the past few days, Manchester United signed Casemiro from Real Madrid for the exact same money they agreed with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong. And with that being said, Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic, one of the top sources around United, came out saying that Manchester United's pursuit for Frenkie de Jong is now seen over following their acquisition of Casemiro from Real Madrid. So Frenkie de Jong to United looking very unlikely, but again, that Chelsea transfer is still very much on the table. Well, of course, there is the confirmation of that meeting that will be happening this week between Barcelona and his agent to decide his future. João Miro came out saying that either Frenkie de Jong will leave next week, or this week, or reduce his salary. It is final and definitive. Frenkie de Jong's current salary at Barcelona is 14 million euros net, so in his pocket. Barcelona's intention is to reduce it by at least 5 million euros if he doesn't leave, and the club hopes to discuss this in a meeting with his agent and entourage and de Jong himself this week. So Frenkie de Jong only has to take a 35% of his salary reduction. It's not even 50% anymore. 35% from 14 million yet. Take 5 off that, so from 14 to 9. Again, what did Javi Miguel say a few months ago? The club are imposing a new salary limit of 10 million euros net per season. No player at this club will earn more than 10 million euros net. Right now, Frenkie, Jordi Alba, Busquets, and Piqué, I believe, all earn more than that salary cap. So the club want to lower that. Of course, Lewandowski earns, I think, 9 or just 10. I think, Rafinha is way underneath that. I think Dembele is way underneath that, like 100,000 euros per week, same with Jules Koundé. So the max that any player can earn at Barcelona is 250,000 euros per week. Frenkie de Jong earns way more than that. So it's Busquets, Jordi Alba, and Piqué. I'm just shocked. It's not even 50% Frenkie, man. 5 million. Come on, freaking hell. We could sign Bernardo with that. Just take the cut. Bloody hell, man. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm hoping this meeting happens. There's still some doubts in the media saying that, Ali Dursun, his agent, is still very mad at Barcelona, does not want to meet with them, but Ramiro is still very, very confident the meeting will take place. But again, from Frenkie's side, it is not looking good because Ramiro came out saying that Frenkie de Jong is very clear and he sees his future only in Barcelona. He does not want to lower his salary, and right now he is closer to to staying at Barcelona. So Frenkie de Jong saying, look, I'm 100% staying, but I'm not taking a salary reduction. I really don't know what to say. This is a man who dreamed of playing at Barcelona. I get it. The money was given to him. He signed it. I don't blame him. But the board right now is begging you. We can't even register freaking Jules Koundé. We're begging you to take a 5 million net reduction. 5 million net. You know what the club should do? We should do this. If we win the Champions League while you're selling Barcelona, we'll give you that 5 million as a bonus. That's what I would say to them. Take the 5 million cut. I'll give you 5 million bonus if we win the Champions League. Like, this is like, when people said 50%, you're thinking, okay, that's quite a bit, but, blah, blah, blah. It's like 30% reduction. It's like, I don't know, man. We'll wait and see. I think in the end, Frenkie will, I think Frenkie will stay and not take the cut. That'll be my bet right now. I said that at the beginning of August, but I'm hoping he stays and takes that salary reduction. I can't see him leaving. I think right now, with United getting Casemiro, they're going for Anthony for 100 million euros. I don't think they'll have the money. Chelsea could still come in, still convince him, but then again, he does not want to leave Barcelona. So we'll wait and see with Frenkie, man. But I'm sick to death of this story. I'll be honest. I just want this meeting to happen, get it over with, and see what Frenkie says. But also quickly on the salary reduction, like I mentioned, there's 4 players who earn outside the salary limit in Barcelona: Frenkie, Busquets, Piqué, and Jordi Alba. We do have an update on Jordi Alba as well. Jordi Alba came out saying that Jordi Alba's current salary at Barcelona is 12 million net, and Barcelona's intention is to also reduce that to 9 million euros as well. So Frenkie earns 14, the club want to bring that down to 9. Jordi Alba earns 12, the club want to bring that down to 9. So again, Jordi Alba, I think, will be asked in the next few weeks to take that salary reduction. We'll see if he says yes or no, but him and Frenkie essentially are on the same boat in terms of the salary reduction, in terms of course, departure. Jordi Alba ain't leaving, but Frenkie de Jong could still possibly. So Jordi Alba, that'll probably get dealt with after, I think, the transfer window. But with Frenkie de Jong, it has to get done in the next weeks. That way the club can try and sell him, earn some revenue, then of course bring his replacement in Bernardo Silva. Now, a player who Barcelona and Xavi want to get rid of by the end of the transfer window, and you can probably consider him on the same boat as Martin Braithwaite, is Sergino Dest. Gerardo Miro came out saying that Barcelona and Xavi today have done things to further impose their idea of wanting to sell Sergino Dest. They have told him several times that they do not count on him, and they've let him out, of course. Of several matchday squads. Of course, over the weekend against Sociedad, he was not included in the squad list, and even more so now, Dest still has the idea of staying. Now, if you saw yesterday when the squad list came out for Real Sociedad, Dest went on Instagram straight away, posted a picture of himself working out in the gym. I mean, it is what it is. Now, his agent came out speaking to the media as well. He was speaking to Manchester United correspondents. He was asked about, are you guys linked with Man United? Can you see that as a possible move? Dest's agent came out saying that Manchester United have not recently been in contact to discuss a possible transfer. At this moment, no club has made any offer to Sergio. So again, it's clear as day. I mean, Xavi, I think Jordan Miro also came out saying that Xavi is very pissed off at some of the players' attitudes who he told him to leave months ago, like Braithwaite, Umtiti, Dest. He's told him, back in middle of May, I don't want you, you're not going to get any minutes, leave the club, better for your future and better for our future as well. And they're still lingering around. Do I think Dest will leave? I think if we sign Juan Foyth and we don't sign, another right back like Bellerin or Meunier, I can still see Dest staying, but I can't see how Barcelona can afford the 40 million on Foyth, for example, hypothetically, let's just say, and then keep Dest as well. I think what the club want to do is sell Dest for 20, use that 20, add an extra 10 on that, get Juan Foyth, and maybe bring in Meunier on a cheap deal, or maybe Bellerin on a free. But I don't think Dest will leave either. I think he will stay firm. I can't see him, unless in the last 48 hours of the window, some club gets desperate for a right back, they go for Dest. I think only then he could leave, but I think right now it's very, very far-fetched. But again, the club are very pissed off. Barcelona and Xavi, this point, Sector, Mateo Alemán, Jordi Cruyff, they've all told him, we don't trust you, we don't have faith in you, you're not going to get any minutes, find another club. And he's just sat around posting gym pictures. So we'll wait and see on Dest, but again, his exit, I think, is going to be very, very difficult to happen, but the club are desperate that it does happen. Now, a player who Barcelona is planning to keep this summer, but is attracting some interest from other clubs, is Miralem Pjanic. Foot Mercado, one of the top sources in France, came out saying that Nice want to sign Miralem Pjanic, and he is interested in joining them as well. Of course, Pjanic is supposed to be the backup for Busquets. This is not going to be a loan move. This will be a direct transfer if it does happen. Can Pjanic be interested? Sure, but of course the club has the final word. Pjanic will not leave on a loan move. Of course, it's like Aubameyang. If you get a good offer for a player who's on, you know, what's Pjanic on? Like 175,000 euros per week, you accept it, right? If Nice bid like 10 million euros, I'm taking that every single day of the week. I don't give a damn. I'll use whoever Barcelona B players in there, call Nico back from his loan from Valencia, cancel that with them, give Valencia 2 million or whatever. I mean, this is not going to be, you know, an Umtiti and Braithwaite situation where the club is desperate to get rid of him. Oh my god, there's a club interested, take him for free, blah, 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 blah. It's not going to be like that now. Xavi trusts him, Xavi likes him. He will stay unless Nice make a very, very good offer. Again, low move, no chance. PSG be like, you know, PSG can be on the same boat as Aubameyang. Oh, I mean, I'll go to Nice if Barcelona want to sell me, but otherwise I'll stay in Barcelona. So, same situation here as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but no actual concrete offer from Nice quite yet, just general interest. So, we'll wait and see. But again, Pjanic most likely will stay at Barcelona unless Nice make a very, very good offer that's irrefutable for Barcelona. Now, a player who could still leave Barcelona on loan this summer, but at the moment it's not quite clear, is of course the new youngster signing, Pablo Torre. Now, Edu Polo from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that as of today, neither Barcelona nor Pablo Torre consider a low move, although many second division and some first division clubs are interested. The plan with him remains the same: train with the first team and play for Barcelona Athletic. Now, this report came out 1 hour before Xavi's press conference for the Real Sociedad match. In that press conference, of course, Xavi said, "We may consider a loan option for Pablo Torre. Of course, this season we're playing games every other day. There won't be that many training sessions. There won't be that many opportunities for him to play in the first team unless we get big injuries. So I'll say keep your eyes on it. I think in the next few days, the club will make a final decision. I think if they get a good offer from a second division club where he could play first team minutes, maybe in the first division club, like, I don't know, an Elche, go there, start every single week with Alex Collado, the club may consider that. So we'll wait and see. We still hear reports that Pablo Torre kind of wants to leave on loan as well, but the more reliable journalists are saying that at the moment neither Pablo Torre or Barcelona are considering a loan. In the last few days of the mercado, though, you never know. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys some updates surrounding Barcelona over the past 24 hours. Firstly, on the salary reduction or salary deferral of the captain Sergio Busquets. Now, Victor Navarro from Cope came out saying negotiation for the salary deferral of Sergio Busquets is currently stalled at the moment. The captain is willing to help the club, but his intention is to finish his contract in 2023 and bid farewell to Barcelona and the Spanish national team. So again, Busquets wants to help the club, is willing to help the club, but does not want to renew his contract in any way, shape, or form. And of course, in order for a salary reduction, he has to renew his contract. So that's why it's a big catch and two right now, a bit of 50-50 right now between the club and Busquets. They both want to help each other out, but Busquets does not want to put a pen and paper on even an extra month on a renewal for Barcelona. Navarro from Cope also came out saying that this year Sergio Busquets must receive around 50 million euros gross between the salary and deferrals, and it's his last year at the club. He wants to help the club, and they hope to sit down and talk about it again, but for now, everything has stopped. 50 million euro gross, my friend. I mean, I need to get in contact with Bartomeu's dealer, because whoever's giving him that foo-foo and that juju stuff makes him unreally high. Mike, 50 million gross for Busquets. My god. Well, that's like what? So the Spanish tax, he'll lose half of that, so it's 25 million euros net technically, but oh my god, it's ridiculous. This is why the club cannot even register Jules Koundé yet, because these freaking rules from La Liga are a freaking joke. If there's no rules in La Liga, the club could reduce Busquets' salary, no problem whatsoever, but of course, it has to comply with FFP. And speaking on that, it has turned Barcelona against La Liga's rules beyond belief. Gerard de Miro came out saying that right now Barcelona have a very delicate relationship with La Liga's president Javier Tebas regarding the rules of financial fair play, and the club could take some things to court as well. Laporta's had enough, man. He's like, what are these rules? There's new rules coming in left, right, and center. There's reports coming out saying that, oh, Depay's exit alone is not enough for Koundé, because if Depay leaves, will open up only 12 million euros in salary. Then that doubles when he leaves. You gotta get rid of 24 million or 22. I mean, my head just hurts from all this registration cap. Like, honestly, God, my head is. I have a headache right now. Like, it's pissing me off. Every day is changing. I don't even know the rules anymore. But what I do know for sure, and what we all know for sure, is that Barcelona have money. Gerard de Miro came out saying that Barcelona have money. That is not the problem at all. However, they need to reduce the wage bill to comply with financial fair play. So the club can buy Juan Foyth for 40 million euros, Marcos Alonso for 8, and then Bernardo Silva for 75. The transfer fee is not a problem. The club have the money, but registering them in La Liga with the financial fair play and the wage bill structure, that's where the issue comes in. And that's why the club is, completely fed up with, Javier Tebas and his freaking rules. He's destroying La Liga. Keep in mind, Real Betis, I think, are in a worse situation than us. Right now, currently, we have only one unregistered player in Jules Koundé. Betis have like 7 or 6 players sitting at home, not even registered yet because they're having troubles as well. It's all over the place. I think this summer, like Nottingham Forest have outspent the whole entire La Liga except for Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's a freaking joke, man. I don't know what the hell Javier Tebas is doing. Someone gotta get rid of him because with him in charge, La Liga is to go down. Like right now, we're the second best league out of the top 5, of course, but we could go down to 3rd or 4th because Serie A is spending, Liga is spending, Bundesliga is gonna get dominated by Bayern Munich, so they probably won't pass us. So we'll wait and see what happens. Again, Laporta is trying his best here. He got registered Jules Koundé, the new signings as well. But again, the captains, he wants help from the captains, but they're making it a little bit difficult as well. They don't want to reduce their, they want to renew their contract. Sorry, they want to help and reduce their salary, but they don't want to renew their contract. I think Busquets and Piqué are on the same boat because they're going to leave Barcelona next summer most likely. But with Jordi Alba, hopefully, is going to be more flexible. So we'll wait and see what magic Juan Laporta and his board do in the next, 9-10 days of this Mercado. But strap your seatbelt because it's going to be crazy. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. And of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to know, first is in that right back position, what would you do? Sign Foyth and someone else, get rid of Dest, keep Dest and sign Juan Foyth. What would you do if you can't sign Juan Foyth? Secondly, in the left back position, what would you do there as well? Sign Alonso, who Xavi wants, or Ben Alonso, go for Javi Galan, Grimaldo, maybe even a Jose Gaya, maybe. Thirdly, on the exits of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Memphis Depay, what do you think will happen? One will leave, both will leave, or neither? And if both leave, would you go for a backup striker? Last but not least, on Frenkie de Jong, do you think Frenkie de Jong in the end will reduce his salary to allow Barcelona to sign Bernardo Silva, or do you think he'll stay stubborn and not reduce his salary whatsoever? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and forza Barca.